He gently lifted the woman's legs, then he injected her with a muscle relaxant. Once the woman's muscles were completely relaxed, he slowly let her inhale the anesthetic. In less than a second, the woman lost consciousness. Then, the doctor lifted her neck, used a retractor to pry open her mouth. But right after, the woman suddenly lost consciousness. No matter how the doctor called her, she did not wake up at all. The doctor quickly checked her pupils, but still got no response.
Oh, Jesus Christ, her pupils are fixed and dilated.
What? The pupils? They're fixed. Dilated.
The lead surgeon quickly came to check, then announced the woman was already brain dead, but while she was alive, she had no medical history, and the surgery had gone smoothly. How could she just die of brain death for no reason? But the husband naively thought it was just a hospital mistake. After all, this wasn't the first time such a thing happened. The husband hoped she wouldn't overthink it, and the hospital had already conducted an investigation, but Daisy was certain something was wrong. She decided to check the lab for answers, but when she found the on-duty doctor, he claimed the lab report was computer-generated. Because the hospital had a special policy, the computer would randomly select patients for tests. Daisy reluctantly returned to work. But today, a new patient arrived in the ward. He needed a simple appendectomy, but he didn't know that once he entered the ward he would never leave. Just then the broadcast called Daisy's name. The psychologist reported this to the director. Luckily the director thought Daisy was just under stress, so he didn't fire her yet. Soon after, Daisy had just entered the ward when she found the appendicitis patient had an accident. Soon after, Daisy had just entered the ward when she found the appendicitis patient had an accident, and it was caused by the anesthetic. He also became a brain-dead vegetable. But even so, the anesthetist still thought it was normal, because during the surgery, the patient also experienced a drop in blood pressure. He was just following procedure, and didn't break any rules, but the repeated anesthesia accidents.
Perhaps something was missed.
Missed? Every professor of anesthesia, most of our house staff, more than 40 expert people have gone over these charts. You think something was missed?
But if anything links them all together...
If anything linked them together, we'd know it. Here they are, 10 cases there, now 12.
Daisy's deep suspicion made the doctor very displeased. In his eyes, how could Daisy challenge his expertise? Her friend had already been dissected. The hospital had done a tissue analysis and found nothing abnormal. Seeing Daisy's confusion, the doctor tried to lighten the mood with a joke.
First rule of crime. Keep it simple. What's simple? Carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide?
Sure. It's perfect. Anesthetist feeds the patient some carbon monoxide instead of oxygen. It's colorless, and it makes the blood very red so the surgeon doesn't notice anything funny. The brain dies from lack of oxygen. End of operation.
But what seemed like a casual remark triggered Daisy's nerves. Then the man explained. The hospital had dozens of coma cases. At least temporary suspension could protect her for now. Daisy went home feeling upset. She told her husband everything, and mentioned both coma cases had happened in operating room 8. Daisy had a bold guess that someone had swapped the oxygen tank on purpose, but her husband said she was being paranoid. Still, to make her feel better, he decided to take her to check the scene. But when Daisy inspected the oxygen system, she found no problem. Her husband then told her, room 8 had many surgeries every day. Even on her friend's birthday there were 4 surgeries. If what she said was true, it couldn't have been just 2 incidents. After hearing this, Daisy seemed relieved, but the staff gave her a strange look. Not long after, Daisy returned to work, but just as she was preparing for surgery, a maintenance worker came to her. He claimed to know some inside information. If she wanted the details, she should come to the engineering department after work. But their conversation was seen by the anesthesiologist. After Daisy finished her work and headed to the engineering department, she didn't expect the worker to be splashed with water, and then pushed onto an electric switch. By the time Daisy arrived, she only saw the tragic scene. He was shocked to see what was inside. Countless patients were hanging neatly in the room. The sight made him shiver with fear, but to find Daisy, he forced himself to keep searching. After just a few steps, he became too scared to go on. He crouched down to check if Daisy was hiding there. At that moment, Daisy seized the chance to escape. She ran home in a panic and told her husband everything she had seen. Her husband quickly tried to comfort her, but after Daisy fell asleep, he quietly made a phone call, unaware that Daisy was not asleep at all. Daisy was in disbelief. Could her husband be involved too? Too scared to stay home, she quietly slipped into the employee passage, changed into work clothes, and disguised herself as an employee. Luckily, the security guards didn't notice her. Daisy secretly entered a room and saw something unforgettable. The man with appendicitis had been sent here, and horrifyingly, all his internal organs had been removed. At that moment, she finally understood the truth. The research institute and the hospital were working together. Though both appeared to be local businesses, they were secretly trafficking organs. When they urged urgently needed a donor. The hospital would test blood types, find a matching patient, use carbon monoxide to put them into a deep coma. Then Daisy's surgery ended successfully. The director confidently prepared to leave. But in the next second, Daisy coughed. In that moment, he realized his secret was exposed. Seeing Daisy being wheeled out of the operating room, the director was completely stunned. And what awaited him was endless hell.